Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome class to our 8th recording of Arabic 101. Open up to page 27. We're going to start from where we left off last week. And we had the last two lines of the dialogue. All right? Everyone up to 27?
Yeah.
All right. قال سعيد, let me put this here. سعيد says, أين حقيبة المدرس؟ قال علي. علي said, هي تحت المكتب. The first sentence, أين حقيبة المدرس? We're taking the last two lines now, right? Where is the حقيبة of the mudarris? That's the only new word here. We know أين means. We know mudarris is. Now we need حقيبة. هذه حقيبتي.
Not the lamp. No, bag.
Not the lamp. I pointed all the way in the corner to my bag. Bag. حقيبة means bag. All right? Let's look at this. So I say, ما هذه? It's female. Well, you said, no, you have to use هذه. We've taken هذه, right? So you say هذه because it's female. هذه حقيبة. If it's male, you would say هذا, like هذا كتاب.
Did we do that? Yes.
هذه حقيبة.
But how do we know it's female though?
It ends with that ta.
Huh?
It ends with a ta. You know that ta with a, yeah. All right, next line, the very last line. هي تحت المكتب. Remember when we took حرف الجر, right? We said that it does something to the word that comes after it. من, إلى, عن, على, في, the lam. It does something. The word that comes after it becomes kasra, and it's called majroor. There are other things that make the word that comes after them majroor. They are called dhuruf. So we're going to just put the single of them is called dharf and dhuruf. I think we took this also. No? Oh, then it was the ladies' class. So we have dharf, and we're going to split that up into categories. This is a nice, fresh, brand new pen. Huh? I like it. It writes well. Alhamdulillah. It's already stopped writing. So you have dharf. Remember, that's the singular version. The plural, you know what the plural is? Just put a wow right here. Dhuruf. Dhurufun. All right? The reason why I put originally one is because I wanted to add it with this word, and then I was going to add one here with this word. All right? So, dharfu. And there's one called makan. What's makan mean? Place. All right? And there's dharfu zaman. Time. So you did take this.
No, it just
You're just Arab. I didn't know that. You're right. You're right. It's same in your language.
Yeah.
Zaman is time, or time period. Zaman, yeah. Dharfu makan, dharfu zaman. All right. What we have in the book, it says hiya tahta. What's the thing that they asked in the last line? Hiya tahta al-maktabi. So now we have dharfu makanin. And the dharf is the it's like, remember, like harf jar?
Okay.
All right? And it is going to tell you, it's like an article in an English sentence. Like it, not really the or a, it's more like above, below, under, whatever that's going to be described as in English. That's what no, it's not an adjective. I don't know. It's not my specialty, so I'm not even going to try. Dharfu makan. What I know is dharf is just something that describes a place, not describes, but tells a place, or something that describes a time. I'm using the word describe, it's going to make it sound like an adjective. That tells you where or when. Just let's say that. All right? It's a word that tells you where or when. All right? So أين الكتاب, right? Right now our book is on this chair. So I would say على الكرسي. If it was under, I would say تحت. تحت الكرسي. And that's that first word that we have to describe a place. All right? So we have tahta, and it's written this way. It's not going to be tahti or tahtu. It's tahta.
So around the Quran, it says like tahti hal and
Min tahti hal. No, this is added because it's got that hat in there, so it doesn't apply. This on its own. You see how it says? Jannatin tajri min. That hat is added to it. Tahti hal. Whenever this gets added to it, then it starts changing. Like this is called a dhamir. Because this right here, remember how we took that this can mean it at the end of a word? And this is the female version of it. Ha. It can either be hu or ha. So this is for male, hu, female, ha. At the end of a word. So when that happened, then it became changeable. So thank you for that. We're not there.
I don't remember taking that.
We didn't. These two?
Yeah.
We didn't. But you said it. تحتها الأنهار. Where did I throw my eraser? Bismillah. But we didn't take, these are called dhamirs, and we didn't take dhamirs. But when you take them, a lot of things become clear. But you have to learn the basic stuff first. Taht is a dharf. You have to just identify a dharf. And whatever comes after it, like you see at the bottom of the page, it's with a kasra, it's majroor now, right? Here, it is تحت المكتب. All right. This is what? أين القلم? Is it on or in? It's in. So how do you say that? No. In a hand is a pen. That's what you said. في اليد. Or في يد قلم. Let's see. That's what I want to hear. في يد المدرس. Because you don't know how to say your hand. We'll take that. Like, you know when they say كيف حالك? So you would have just put that ka. يدك. But that's a dhamir lesson. We're going to say القلم في يد المدرس.
Yadil is hand.
Yad, we took hand.
I know.
Yeah. أين الكتاب? You would say هو هو على الكرسي. We have a kasra because of ala. All right? Now, let's take it over here. Let's place it here. Let's put my deftar there. أين الدفتر? هو تحت الكرسي. Very good. You guys see how that works? The dharf?
Is it not same with other ones?
It's like harf jar. Just treat it like a harf jar. Just treat it like a harf jar, which means something that comes after it is going to be majroor. It's going to have a kasra.
Put tahta, oh no, put this guy under harf al-jar.
That after harf jar? Tahta fi? No, that doesn't work. It only starts working whenever we do what he did. When he added
What does that mean?
تحتها الأنهار في جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. That's when it starts changing and becoming, something else. What's your question? You got it? Okay. Go back to the tamareen now. Now we're going to open up to the tamreen, right? We're still on the same page. التمرين التمرين الثاني. And I already graded you guys' homework, which was a tamreen الثاني. And I remember I told the listeners to do their homework. So it's page 28, at the top of page 28.
Can you give him one example for zaman, please? Darfu zaman.
It's not shown in the lesson. You sure you want to start,
He's just hanging out by himself like that. This one's got the example. Just in case, you know.
Al-ana.
Atlanta.
No. Al-ana. Now.
Atlanta will be more
Is it Gadan also comes on?
Huh?
Gadan?
Yeah.
You said what? Atlanta?
Al-ana. Use al-ana for now. Al-ana. I was thinking al-anta.
Here you said?
Al-ana.
No.
Now. Now.
Okay.
That's how you know he's not ready for it.
Atlanta. Yes. طيب, let's go. Let's keep moving, اخوان. التمرين الثالث, right? I'm going to read, you guys read after me. So you can get pronunciation. I want you to pronounce correctly. It'll be too hard every time for me to go through everything with you, but try to pronounce like I'm pronouncing. التمرين الثالث. Let's read that also. التمرين الثالث. That means the third exercise. باب المدرسة. باب المدرسة. Very good. حمار الرجل. Good. بيت حامد. سيارة المدير. المديري with a كسرة. All right. منديل عمار. اسم الطالب. بيت الله. Good. في كتاب الله. من بيت المدرس. من بيت المدرس. على مكتب المدير. Yeah. Ahmed, you don't have your book? Okay. All right. So what we have here is just some examples of harf jar coming in front of ism, right? And ism that is affected by mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Ism that's being possessed. So like fi kitabillahi. We previously learned that you say kitabullahi, right? And now fi is there. It changed because of fi. Good. Harf jar. Let's keep going. We're doing good. Iqra. Now, all of you are going to do some qira'ah. I'm just so excited. I don't know where to start. Yeah, let's start with Mudaffar. Let's start that way. We'll go back row, and then we'll come up this front, and we'll go to the back. Mudaffar, number 1. And also the online, readers, you're going to have a chance to, I'll repeat after them every line, so that way you'll know if you said it correctly or not. Go ahead, Mudaffar. Mm-hmm.
هو بعيد.
بعيد. أين بيت المدرس؟ هو بعيد. أين بيت المدرس? What's that line mean? And whoever I ask, I'm asking the guy who read. And that way everyone gets a chance to answer.
Is it the teacher's house?
The teacher's house. And then what's أين? Where? Where is the teacher's house? هو بعيد. What's بعيد? Means far. That's a new word. We never took this word before. Ba'idun means far. Did we? Oh. Ba'idun means far. Go ahead and write underneath it then, far, so you remember. What's qaribun? Near. Okay, so we did take it. Very good. Number 2. You want to give it a try? It's easy to read. Okay. Sayyid. Did you put a tanween at the end of Quran? It must have been my ears. Read it again. There's no tanween there. Good. Al-Qur'anu kitabullahi. So there's only one dhamma because it has alif and lam. What does that mean? Al-Qur'anu, the Quran, is kitabullah. Yeah. Allah's book, the book of Allah, either one is fine. Al-Qur'anu kitabullahi. Very good. Nadeem, number 3.
Al-Ka'batu Baytullahi.
Tell me the meaning.
The Kaaba is Allah's house of Allah.
The house of Allah. Remember, I'm asking only the guy who's reading. Everyone else listen. And then when we have, So that way everyone gets a chance to read. Go ahead, nice long one.
محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم رسول الله.
Good. Muhammadun sallallahu alayhi wa sallam Rasulullah. All right. What does that mean?
The messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him.
Rasulullah.
The messenger of Allah.
Yeah.
Sallallahi.
Rasulullah.
Sallallahi.
No, sallallahu.
Sallallahu.
Yes. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. السؤال الخامس. تفضل.
خارج المدرس من غرفة المدير.
Okay, good, but a little bit of harakat need to be adjusted. خرج المدرس من غرفة المدير. So you got the harakas at the end right, but the harakas at the beginning need a little adjustment. Go ahead and read it again.
خارج المدرس
مدرس
مدرس خارج المدرس من غرفة المدير.
من غرفة المدير. We have to look at something else now. And we have a verb, and then after that verb we have the fa'il, right? What you have in front of you, you guys remember when we took jumla ismiya as a sentence that starts with a noun? Huh? A jumla ismiya? Did we ever talk about this?
The compound noun.
Not a compound noun. It's like Muhammadun mujtahidun. One of them is mubtada and the other one is khabar. Subject and predicate.
I don't think we do that. No.
It gets confusing. This is the third class I teach, so I forget which one I'm teaching. But anyways, in some sentences, they'll start with a noun, Muhammadun, right? And mujtahidun. What's mujtahid mean? We didn't take that word? I don't want to give you a new word then. Muhammadun, let's see. Rajulun. Rajulun. Muhammadun is a man. All right? This is what is called as jumla ismiya. A jumla that starts with an ism. A sentence that starts with a noun. That's what that means. And sentences that start with noun, ismiya. Sentences that start with noun, they always have to have two things. Something called a mubtada and something called a khabar.
Khabar in Kurdish means a cuss word.
Khabar means like news. Yeah. It's maybe something else. Mubtada is the subject and khabarun is the predicate in a sentence. Which means that what the sentence is starting with, that's usually the mubtada. Usually. Like it began with that, that's the main part of the sentence, right? That's the mubtada. And that's what it means from bada'a, like beginning. Khabar is the main thing being said about the mubtada. All right? Mubtadas come marfu' with a dhammatain at the end. As do khabars. Khabars also come with dhammatain at the end. So if you ever identify in a sentence and you say, this is the mubtada, that means it's going to be marfu' or it's going to be majroor. It's marfu'. All right? Let me say it one more time so I can catch anyone who might have dozed off. An original state of the sentence is dhammatain, called marfu', right? Mubtada is making this be marfu'. It's making it have the dhammatain because it's the subject. The khabar is also making this be dhammatain. That's why it's the original state of the thing. That's all. If I start adding words in here like fi or inna, well, I mean something that'll change the harakah. Al doesn't change the harakah, it just changes how many there are. But it keeps it the same. Like if I say, Muhammadun ar-rajulu, I'd have to add something else to make the sentence more complete, right? But then I would just get rid of that one dhamma. Like Muhammadun ar-rajulul kabiru. Yeah.
So what is mubtada again?
Mubtada means the subject, the main thing, or the thing that's being mentioned at the beginning of the sentence.
So hold this thing called ismihu.
Ism, jumla ismiya. All this, I haven't even gotten to what I want to get into. Jumlatun. Seen. Meme. Seen and meme. What if a sentence does not begin with an ism? That's what I wanted to get into. You sure we didn't re-record it in class 1?
I don't remember this.
I don't know. All right. Probably could check this and see.
Okay, we need to know it.
I know that, but I just want to make sure that it was not left out on accident, or if it was not forgotten. No.
So
We never talked about it. No, let's get to this thing first. Jumla ismiya, we done that. Now, get rid of this ismiya, and we're going to put fi'liya. What's the fi'l mean? Action. Fi'liyatun. Fi'liya. So, jumlatun, fi'liyatun. Instead of it being jumla ismiya, it's jumla fi'liya. Verbal sentence. Or verbial sentence. Which means that it began with a action. Kharaja. Read your sentence again, Mr. Imtiaz.
خرج المدرس
خرج المدرس. And then what?
من غرفة المدير.
fi'l means action.
Yeah. Just the word fi'lun means action or verb. The word fi'lun means action or verb. What does fi'lun mean?
Action.
Action or verb. All right. خرج المدرس. In a verbial sentence like this, you're going to have a fi'l. Somebody you have the action, and then somebody doing that action.
Somebody is doing the action, right?
Whoever is doing that, yeah, fi'lun is the action. Kharaja. And this is a past tense verb.
Left.
Yeah. Kharaja al-mudarrisu. So you need somebody you need the action, and you need the person doing the action. Not like previously when we needed mubtada and khabar. Jumla ismiya needs a mubtada and the khabar in there. Jumla fi'liya needs fi'l and fa'il. Want me to make a little tree? I'll make a little tree. Jumla ismiya. That's it.
Oh, that's it. What is that? It'll take 5 minutes just to get.
No, hold on. You already wrote this. You wrote this already. Jumla ismiya needs a mubtada and a khabar. A jumla fi'liya needs a fi'l and a fa'il.
Why is that called a fa'il?
Because he's doing the action.
Oh, the one who does it.
The one who does the action is called fa'il. And that's it. Huh?
Left.
Kharaja means he left or exited.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Jar,
no.
what is that again? The over there?
Jumla?
The jumla.
I thought you would get it by if I did that and then just wrote it differently there. That's right. All right. Don't get hung up on these terms.
So this is like just the parts of the sentences.
Parts of a sentence. That's it. This is just parts of a
You
sentence.
need to know them, right?
You have, if you want to fully understand why this is a dhamma, yeah. Fa'ils are always ending with dhamma.
Okay.
That's all. Like because he would have asked, خرج المدرس. Why do we say مدرس? I could tell you it's because it's the original state. But what is the original state doing? The original state, he's a fa'il. He's the one doing the action. Right? And that's what made him end with a dhamma. Now, this heavy grammar.
So what is fa'al again?
Fa'il means one doing the action.
No.
Fi'lun? Fi'l is the verb, the action itself. Fa'il is the one doing the action.
So Muhammadun ar-rajulu kabirun, is Muhammadun always still going to be tanween?
الرجل الكبير.
Muhammadun is still Muhammadun?
Yeah. It's not going to lose its tenween.
Does it ever change?
Did it lose its tenween?
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about things like that.
So Mudaris exited from
Man.
means from room
From the principal's room.
principles.
Yeah.
So all this made it just for that description for that dhamma?
Since we didn't take the top part before, yes.
You confuse me. So wait. So it would not be anyways al-mudarrisu anyways al.
It's al-mudarrisu, but now you know why.
Oh no, because we already knew al. If al comes in, it would be dhamma.
If yeah, that's true. It means that when al comes in, it makes it definite.
Exactly.
But it didn't make it dhamma.
It used to make al what? Al
It could
kitabu.
be al-mudarrisi.
Remember, what if fi comes in front of al-mudarrisu? Or let's use masjid, because it's weird when you use fi. So we say masjidun, right? And we say al-masjidu,
Nah.
all right? Now let's bring fi in front of masjid.
Fil masjidi.
Fil masjidi.
Nah.
Okay, we know what caused that kasra, but what caused the dhamma? Wasn't the al, right?
No, al masjidu.
We say al-masjidu,
Right.
but we can also say fil masjidi with a kasra.
But there's no fi in there.
No, what he's trying to say is
So it would have been anyways al mudarrisu. Anyways.
no, he's
Yeah, but I'm just explaining why it's mudarrisu. You're right. It's before we didn't know what caused it to be a dhamma. We just knew it was that way. Now we know why it's dhamma. That's all.
But I didn't get the.
I get it.
He's saying
No. Let me get past this.
when you put the capital on it, you still got the al in there. So it's still not a dhamma. When you put fi in front of it, you still have the al. You see what he's saying?
Yeah.
But it turns into a kasra.
But this one doesn't.
But this one doesn't.
Even if you put a field.
Because the
Masjidun, right? Al-masjidu.
No. Okay.
What caused this dhamma to appear? These dhammatain, what caused it?
Al.
No. The al does not cause the dhamma to appear. The al gets rid of one dhamma. See, there's two dhammas here. Right? So this al gets rid of tanween. This is tanween. So when al comes into the word, it gets rid of one of these haraka, whether it's dhammatain or kasratain. It's going to get rid of one. But that doesn't explain to us why it started out as dhamma in the first place. Why didn't it start as kasra? Why didn't it start as fatha? That's what I'm explaining.
Because of the place, huh?
Because of what it is. Like the reason why this has dhammatain, it's because it's marfu'. But what made it marfu'? It might be the mubtada. It might be in the beginning of a sentence. That's what makes it marfu'. Not that al was added to it. Al made it definite, meaning it specified which one, but it did not make it dhamma. What makes it dhamma is its place in the sentence. And that really is what is considered the study of nahu. You ever heard this word before? Nahu, I want to study nahu. Nahu means the study of Basically, the last haraka on the word. Like, why is it a dhamma and not a kasra? Why is it a fatha and not a, dhamma? That's called nahu. That's the study of nahu, to understand the ends of these words. So, I suppose we should give nahu rest because it gets confusing. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, I guess we'll sprinkle it on. Yeah, let's keep moving. We'll sprinkle on nahu. All right. Next reader, please.
هذا بيت حامد وذلك بيت خالد.
All right. If something is mudaf and mudaf ilayh, we have to get rid of the tanween, right? So when we say baytu hamidin, we can't say baytun hamidin. It's correct that you had kasratain on hamid, but bayt has to? Yeah, he had dhammatain, so it just has to have the one dhamma. So you say baytu hamidin. You say,
هذا بيت حامد وذلك بيت خالد.
that's great. That's very good. What does that sentence mean?
This house is of Hamid and that house is Khalid.
That's right. This is Hamid's house. That's Khalid's house. Very good. Let's go to the front. Amir. That alif is going to be pronounced, start out with a kasra.
Yes.
All right? Ibnu, good.
Ibnu ay.
That's a meme, the second letter.
Ibnu Ammaru
Mm-hmm.
Talibu.
Okay.
Wa ubnu.
Okay. With that alif, go ahead and we're going to skip that alif and I'm going to explain the reason right now. Wabnu.
Wabnu Yasiru Tajir.
All right, very good. So there's a few things in here like mudaf and mudaf ilay. If one thing belongs to another, right, we have to make the first one with one haraka and the second thing with kasratain. So ibnu and then ammarun. Is ibnu, related to Ammar? Yeah. It means Ammar's son. So that means we say ibnu Ammarin. And that's how we know that one belongs to the other. Ibnu Ammarin. All right, go ahead and write that down so you know how to identify them next time. And now we have a word, talibun. Ibnu Ammarin talibun. All right? So Ammar's son is a student. Next sentence, it says, I'm reading them separately, ibnu. Yasirin tajirun. All right. There's something unique about that alif that you see there. It's called hamzatu waslin. It's called the alif of wasl, and we did take this previously, right?
No, I just know.
What you call hamzatu?
It's called hamzatu waslin, the hamza of continuation, which means that this hamza, when you're connecting it to the word before, right, or the letter before it, it'll disappear. When you read it, it's just going to disappear.
What do you call it?
Hamzatu waslin. Yeah, you don't need to write that.
So it's gonna be wa ibnu.
So we're going to, no, when you read it with something before it, you skip it. Wabnu. Wabnu. I didn't say wa ibnu. I just skipped it. Just like with the L at the beginning. Yeah.
But can you say wa ibnu? That would be correct too, right? Wa ibnu.
No, the correct way to say it is wabnu. You're not supposed to stop there.
How do you identify a leaf which is?
It always has that sign at the top.
Yeah, that's hamza.
See that sign?
It's very unclear.
Yeah.
It's a certain type. It has a little.
So, if you ever see this on this, they call it hamza. We've always learned it as alif, right? But in reality, the alif always has sukoon on it, right? Alif always has a sukoon on there. That's the only one we really consider as an alif. Everything else is going to be a hamza, right? Whether it has a hamza on there or not. If it's at the beginning of the word, you're going to say the alif and lam, right? Like this one, correct? It's mimicking the hamzatul wasl when we don't read it if something comes before it, like if fi was before it. Do you hear me say fi al-masjidi? I go straight to fil. It disappears just like this one. Right? Because it is that one. Right? So, if you see this symbol, it looks like a little slide, something like that, on top. Right? Is that the...
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's pretty small. I mean, I clarified it, but sometimes it'll look like this. That's how you can tell that's a hamza to waslin. Right? And you see it very often in the Quran. Afterwards, you're just going to identify that you know which one is hamza and which one is actual alif that has the this actual hamza. They still call that one hamza, by the way, but not wasl, qata'. And like I said, we're not going to focus on terminologies and grammar too much, but I'm just telling you how to read it, and you have to skip over and say wabnu. All right, wabnu. Go ahead. What's the meaning of such sentence that we took?
Ammar's son is a student.
Wabnu Yasirin tajirun.
Yasir's son is a
Tajir. Businessman. Merchant or businessman or trader. Right? Very good. Number 8. Fazil.
بيت المدرس بعيد
Mm-hmm.
وبيت التاجر قريب.
Very good. All right.
Can you read that again, please?
Yes. بيت المدرس بعيد وبيت التاجر قريب. Yeah, you see how he skipped alif and ta? Or I'm sorry, alif and lam and jumped straight to the ta? You guys hear that? بيت التاجر. All right? Otherwise, when you start pronouncing them, then think of it like when somebody's speaking English and you can tell this person is clearly a foreigner, you know, by the way it's pronounced. So it's the same way in Arabic. When you say Baytu at-Tajiri, then they say, okay, this is a foreigner speaking. That's what it sounds like. But when you can just roll it off, yeah, I went to Baytu at-Tajir. Like, oh, I don't know where he's from. He looks, you know, he doesn't look Arab, but he's speaking like Arab. That's what I want you to get, and that's why I'll reread some of these things.
So we skipped it because of the solar and lunar letters, right?
That's right. Because it's called Shamsiyya and Qamariya. Number 9. Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the meaning. Let's get the meaning first, then you'll read next. بيت المدرس بعيد.
So the house of the teacher, or teacher's house. The teacher's house is far,
Very good.
and then the merchant's house is near.
It is near. Very good. بيت التاجر بعيد. Or is it no? بيت التاجر قريب. وبيت المدرس بعيد. It's far. السؤال التاسع.
هذا مفتاح
Not mif.
هذا مفتاح السيارة.
Okay.
سيارة.
Okay. Is one thing belonging to another?
No, سيارة.
Does miftah belong to sayyara?
Yes.
So how do you do mudaf ilay?
سيارة.
No, you did a whole homework on it.
سيارتي.
Yes. You say مفتاح السيارة.
أين مفتاح
مفتاح.
No, I'm next one.
Oh.
أين مفتاح بيتي.
Good. Now go from ha straight to the lam. مفتاح.
أين مفتاح البيت.
There you go. What's the meaning of these sentences?
So the car. Where is no? This is the car's key.
The car keys. Good.
This is the car keys.
Mhm.
And where is the house of keys?
Yeah. Where's the house keys?
Where are the house keys?
What's so funny? That's normal.
Yeah.
That's correct. All right. Number 10. Ismail.
Looks like I need help on this.
That's all right. Number 10. Start off with min.
Min,
Oh, I'm sorry. Men.
man and
Ya.
yawladu,
Ya. Waladu.
ya waladu,
Very good.
and
الأبن أبسي.
Good. I'll read the whole thing. من أنت يا ولد? Who are you?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
أنا ابن عباس. You heard how I read that? Each word is separate when you say أنا ابن عباس. When you say it or when you read it, أنا ابن. أنا ابن. The alif on أنا goes away and the alif on ibn goes away. أنا ابن عباس. Right?
Where does the alif on the ana go away though?
It's for the think of Arabic. When you speak it, it's like cursive.
Okay.
And just things get together, they connect together. So it's a level of eloquency to the language, really, to make it flow more, so you don't have a lot of pauses, and it's difficult to speak when you say ana ibnu. Those hamzas are heavy letters. There's a lot. You guys have a question or something? Because there's a lot of commotion.
But did you know that by instinct, or is there like a certain, like I know the rule is to skip, but is there a certain rule that's,
No, you grow up talking like that.
so it's just instinct?
Yeah. And that's the rule to it. You get used to each word separately, but that is the rule to it. Like as you're speaking, it's easier to leave them out. So there's some that are acceptable, and there's some that's just slang. This is from the acceptable one where you get rid of the alif. Time. Huh?
Question. So, man anta ya waladu or waladun?
Man anta ya waladu. Because of ya. Ya also, gets rid of one of the tanween. It's not a harfu jar, it's called harfu nida.
So anytime ya comes in, we just say u.
Yeah. Well, you're going to end it with just one dhamma.
Right.
Yes. Anytime. What is it?
It just gets rid of a harakat.
Yeah, it gets rid of the tanween.
Have we taken it, or is this just?
We've taken it before on ya yasiru. Huh?
If it's sukoon, then also?
At the end of the word? Remember, the reason why it's sukoon at the end of the word is because the sentence ended. Right? So you would normally say, Ya Muhammad. But if you were to write it, it's Muhammadu. That harakah is still there. But because you ended your sentence, that's why you said, Ya Muhammad. Ya Ismail. Ya Qasim. But always, it's supposed to have a dhamma at the end of it. Let's stop there. We took a lot of stuff that I know is a bit hectic. So we're going to go ahead and stop here. Yeah. Here's what you guys need to do for your homework, though. Reread a tamreen of al-rabi'. The fourth tamreen, you have to reread that, or you are going to fall behind. What we just took right now at the end, you have to reread that before you come in tomorrow, inshallah. If you can reread, or if you can read all the way to the end of the next 20 or the next 10, then that'll be helpful as well. All right. Everyone's dismissed.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.